Liberty, limited government, works, brings out the best in people. It allows prosperity. It's great. But people don't get that. How do we convince them? Well, Matt Kibbe tries. He runs FreedomWorks. And one thing they do is run Facebook posts like this one, alerting people to the fact that Congress passes bills without reading them and then exempts its own staffers from the law. That post was seen by almost 2 million people. And that's not unusual for FreedomWorks posts. Julie Borowski posts YouTube videos about liberty, and they are viewed by hundreds of thousands of people. So, Julie, I'll start with you. Why'd you start doing this?
I started because I care about freedom and liberty, and I want to...
Well, let me back it up there. Why did you care?
I care about it because I want to be able to do whatever I want to do as long as I do not harm another person. And I found out about libertarianism through the internet, through Google. And
you were a conservative.
I was actually a neoconservative. I'm embarrassed about that fact.
And then through the internet, you read about liberty, libertarianism, and said, I want to help spread this movement?
I knew so many young people who were politically apathetic. They said, I'm not a conservative, because so many conservative people, they talk about big government foreign policy, war, legislating morality, and, you know, the left always talks about taxes and spending. Where do I fit? I want young people to decide that I'm actually a libertarian.
And you noticed this YouTube thing and said, I can do that?
Yeah. I would just start a YouTube channel in my bedroom by myself. I didn't know much about technology. I didn't really know anyone important. I didn't have much money. I just put a YouTube channel up.
And a few people would watch, and then more and more. How many now?
It started off pretty slow because you have to build up. But now, yeah, a lot of people watch it. I don't know why, but they do.
Well, let me show you another sample of her work. Plenty of Americans, including me, which annoys some libertarians, are not that angry about the NSA spying. So here's part of a video that Julie did that's gotten more than 100,000 views.
When did the government become a jealous girlfriend? I need to know who you are talking to at all times. Some people have it apparently in their minds that, oh, privacy, that's for terrorists and cheating boyfriends. We all have things we want to keep to ourselves or with a small group of people. When government is snooping, you lose choice, control, and freedom.
So people watch that and then they can respond on YouTube and there are conversations.
Yeah, actually, I responded to you on Twitter about the NSA. And we had a bit of a debate because you said that it wasn't a big deal, but I think it is because I'm not really doing anything wrong, but I shouldn't be treated like a criminal by my own government.
And for the record, I don't like it. I just had 100 other things that I hated about my government.
Well, I do too.
So you have a think tank. You want to explain liberty to people, spread these ideas. In the old days, you might have paid a lot of money for an ad. You could have tried to lobby politicians. You got new options now.
I think the internet changes everything, and it really decentralizes the way people get their information. It lowers the barriers to entry when you think about what's going on in Washington, D.C., and all these insiders sneaking around behind closed doors. Now we know what's going on, and we can share it in a moment's notice, and all of a sudden, 1 million people are engaged in a conversation that used to happen with nobody noting.
But you do a lot of it on Twitter, and you mentioned tweeting me. And, you know, that's not, how is that a conversation? That's just a couple words.
Well, Twitter's a conversation. Actually, there's people on our staff that don't know how to communicate beyond 140 characters, and maybe that's a problem. But the old problem, the old think tank problem, is we would write 40-page white papers that nobody read, that nobody saw. So this is a way to engage people. And you start with a tweet, you have a conversation, but at some point, you start to dig deeper into the ideas of liberty. You start to read, at some point, maybe even read that 40-page white paper.
And you have some 21,000 Twitter followers. You have 130,000 at FreedomWorks, but just by yourself, 20,000 people. Now, some of the are not fans, so you get some hate mail.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of trolls on the internet that post hateful comments, but I actually think it's good because people that are not libertarians are paying attention to my videos and my Twitter account. They may, you know, learn something.
Well, that's the goal. And for people out there, you have tips on social media how to spread these ideas?
Don't overpost. We found that 3 times a day produces the highest level of engagement with our activists. And think about the multiplier effect. of the people you touch, all of their friends then engage in that conversation. There's about 1 billion people on Twitter. So we as libertarians finally have that opportunity to potentially connect all the people that share these basic values in a way that's effective, in a way that lowers their costs, in a way that really engages people.
All right, well, on this show, I'm trying to learn how to use social media, and on the bottom left of the screen, about here, there's this thing called a hashtag, and in this case, it's innovation. This means you who are watching the show can use that hashtag to talk to other viewers about how wrong I am or how wonderfully insightful we are. And in fact, anyone on Twitter writing about innovation anywhere in the world can connect through that if they search the hashtag innovation. So why is this a big deal?
All of a sudden, everybody in the world that's on Twitter, about 500,000 people, can connect if they're following that phrase innovation. You can have a conversation with people who didn't know that they believed the same things you did until we had that opportunity.
And Twitter has links, so if you really want to read the Milton Friedman or Hayek, it can help take you there.
It's a gateway drug. Pretty soon you're reading Human Action cover to cover.